Y'all, I'm bored, so we're starting early. Hope y'all don't mind. All right, Chad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's not my fault. It is my fault. Let's be honest. It's my fault. It's definitely my fault. I'm the one that selected that craptastic music. But hey, still no copyright strikes on it. I'm good with that. I mean, I could always go with, hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there? Just nod if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Of course, I'll probably get a copyright strike just for that much, so what the hell ever. I have Chad and Cliff. This is awesome. Hell, I could just quit now. My day's complete. No, my day's not complete. I still got a little bit over an hour. We're going to go until somebody gets here. Howdy, howdy, Dan. Welcome in the Canadians. I'm Chad. I am fairly certain that particular group would destroy my ability to do anything other than have my live feed destroyed. But it would be fun to do. Not interested.
Okay, in what?
Whatever you're trying to sell. That's good enough.
It's not for sale. My name is Jeremy. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm with the Power Home Remodeling Group. We just finished a window installation.
And it's not happening.
Yeah, at least you know we're offering windows. I just noticed.
And I said I'm not here to have you sell me anything. What part of I'm not interested did you not understand?
I can't. I didn't hear that.
What part of not interested did you not understand?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Pretty much, as in go away.
Okay.
No, Steph. Jehovah's Witnesses are actually so much more fun than that. I'm not interested in buying anything. Oh, hey, we're here to try and sell you some windows. What the fuck did I just say? I'm not interested in buying something. You try to be nice to these guys, and then you just basically have to just be ready to tell them, look, come up here a little closer so I can stab you. That might get me in violation of a YouTube policy where you're not supposed to be portraying violence. It's not going to be violent. It won't be on screen. You might hear him scream from off screen. Of course, he's a younger black guy, so probably I can't catch him with my bad knees and the fact that I'm a fat white guy. That's not a racist statement. That's just to say that he's a younger guy, looks to be in shape, bit taller than me, and he looks like he's got some long legs. I'm going to have a hard time tracking him down if I pull a knife and start going after him. Just remember, if you're going to pull a weapon on somebody, Don't just pull it and stand around there and act like something. Go ahead and use it. You're going to jail either way. You might as well be going to jail for the right reasons. Ah, by the way, howdy to Chad, Cliff, Dan, Steph, Dave, and is anybody else in here? Did I miss anybody? Yes, Chad. Killing people live is discouraged. Steph, I'm perfectly okay. It is perfectly okay to tell somebody you are not interested and you are not going to buy anything that they are selling. What is not cool is when they still decide that after you've told them, not interested, and I'm not going to buy anything that you're selling me, that they're going to sit around and then they're going to try and tell you that they're going to sell you something. I just told you I'm not interested and not going to buy. You should just save your time and go ahead and go to the next residence. There is no reason to waste your breath on me from that point on. Oh, by the way, is Skip there? If Skip's there, oh my God. Howdy, Skip. Great to see you. Yeah. Chad, unfortunately, it probably would have come out as the name Bofa, as in Bofa D's nuts. Howdy, Sharon. So glad to see you. By the way, Sharon, if you really want to see me, just get onto one of those door-to-door salespeople. Rewind this video. Somewhere in the first 7 minutes, you'll see it. I mean, he was respectful and nice, but then he was stupid. I tried to be nice. I tried to be nice and tell him I'm not interested. I mean, y'all all heard it. I am not interested. He wouldn't take no for an answer. So I'm going to give y'all a quick funny story because, as a lot of y'all know, I used to work in the insurance industry. As a boiler inspector, I worked inside the insurance industry for a company. I'm not mentioning any names of that company. They really like it when I talk crap about them, and they like it so bad that they would actually send lawyers if I did it enough. So I'm not going to. They've got more money than I have, so their lawyer count is going to be extreme and, well, useless. Because all they would get out of me is me going up in front of them and saying, okay, well, I'm sorry that I said the truth about y'all. Because that's literally as close as they're going to get. But when I worked for an insurance company, I drove a company car. While I drove a company car, oh, let me see, is he dishing a big list? Nope, looks like just some magazines. Okay, don't have to go see the mailman today. But I do wave every time I can. So, I drive a company car. I use company insurance while driving the company car. I was on the road about 65,000 65,000 miles every year. Okay, that seems like a lot for some people and not too much for anybody who's a truck driver. Oh no, I wouldn't yell at the mailman. I like the mailman. He brings me stuff. Doesn't make me pay for it. Dave, come on. Y'all have seen me go get the mail. I don't make him get out of his truck to come bring me mail. Hey, just wait right there. I'll come get it. And he knows. So yeah, 65,000 miles a year in a car. I didn't pay for insurance. I didn't pay for the car. Hell, I didn't even pay for the gas. I used the company credit card to pay for the gas. Pretty good deal. I mean, but when you drive 65,000 miles in a year on company business, you don't feel like driving anywhere. You just don't. For those of you who do not drive thousands and thousands of miles, it might seem like it's fun, but trust me, after a while it gets to wear on you. Needless to say, almost every year I would get these people calling me up and saying, we can save you money on your insurance. And I'd say, great, cut me the check. Well, a lot of them wouldn't understand that I'm telling them I'm not paying for insurance already. So the only way to save me money on insurance, if it's being provided for me for free, is to pay me. That's the only way they could do it. They could pay me money to use their insurance. Okay, great. Cut me the check. Needless to say, they wouldn't like my answer. They would still try to sell me some insurance. Eventually, they would come to the understanding that there's no way you can sell me something cheaper than I'm already being given it for free. So, unless you're willing to cut me a check, you can't sell it to me. You can't even give it to me for free and save me money on it. Y'all see how this works, right? Little insurance sales reps couldn't seem to figure it out. So they would keep calling, and I'd keep telling them to cut me the check. By the way, Black Market, Alec Bradley, Robusto. You've heard the spiel. Y'all have all been here before. There is no pain. You are receding. Like my hairline. It is receding a bit. I'll never be bald. It will be thin. Dan, I telling you right now, I love those also. Skip! Oh my God, howdy Skip. Great to see you, sir. We have things we need to talk about. We won't do it here. We'll see about talking about things over a cigar sometime after you've moved back to Houston. Dead Seed Tree, howdy sir. Or ma'am. that could go either way, and I'm not trying to be offensive to you. Uh, it just happens to be that 90% of the tops of 30 people that ever show up here do tend to be guys. Oh, that's Arlo. Howdy, Arlo. Arlo, again, in the description, being that you've never been here before, it does say that this stream is not for those who are under the age of 21 or easily offended. But being that your parents are here, we will skip those rules. Especially being that one of your parents happens to be Skip. Ah. So, damn, it's like old home week. This is awesome. Skip, are you off of the ship finally? Fully on back in Texas, please say yes to that. Needless to say, Steph's been practically pacing. She misses you. If you haven't called her something nice, or at least just called her, you better. Unless, of course, you want to call her like I did that kid trying to sell me windows earlier. Chad, that might be true, but you know what? There's some people that are classified as autistic that I really enjoy talking to. And it's not because they make me feel smart, it's because I actually learn things. There was an electrician that I know who was he was high functioning autistic, but he wasn't quite a savant. Uh, Dude couldn't tie his own shoes, could not read a clock. But as far as electricity, he knew the entire code book, backwards, forwards, left, right, sideways. We called him Whammer because he answered to it. And he was a goofball all the way across. But if you wanted to talk electrical theory, or if you wanted to talk anything about rewiring something, he was way up there. Crazy smart. So, while I do agree with the IQ necessity for watching certain channels on YouTube, uh, in some ways I also have to say, nah, not quite. Because his IQ was right in there with like Forrest Gump. He was not going to pass the standardized tests. But you couldn't keep up with him when he got into electricity. Boris. Huva Ilta Boris. By the way, Boris, you will notice that Skip's here. He's right there. GPS Larry. Let me guess. He could read a map faster than you could look at a map. Tell you exactly how to get to anywhere, from anywhere, as long as he had been there first. Yeah. The human homing pigeon. The crazy funny thing is, those people who tend to be high functioning autistic, not necessarily the ones that are a savant, but still able to function somewhat. There's a lot of knowledge locked inside their heads, and they just can't seem to get it out because somehow the electrical connections in their head just doesn't work so great. And Garden Hose Bob. Yes, but he never went thirsty, did he? Steph, I understand that completely. Yeah, Whammer lived with his dad because his mom ran off. She couldn't handle anything about having an autistic son. Uh, and his dad was an electrician, did the best he could. Uh, didn't have much time for books or other things to try and help him out. So he'd have his son study the electrical code with him. His son was a hell of an electrician. Shit, I'd let him wire up my own house if I wasn't such a damn good electrician my own self. Oh, see you, Steve and Kathy. Great to see you, by the way. Oh, God. So, yeah, there's a lot of quid pro quo and side rules to those statements. We'll be honest and fair to anybody who wants to come in. No reason I won't be fair or honest. I was honest with the guy trying to sell me windows. I'm not interested. For anybody that got a little bit worried there, don't worry. There was nothing wrong. I was just trying to invite him to leave as nicely as possible, and I turn it a little more mean every couple of seconds. And he wanted to stay around until I damn near got ready to be truly mean. Hopefully, y'all never get to see that. I don't think I'm ever going to be mean with any of y'all. I mean, I know that y'all like to joke around just like I love to joke around, but that guy was doing it for a job. Come on. Let's see. Boca de Boyton's favorite cologne. Fish and Carter Hall with a side of dog farts. Oh yes, yes. Loaded with deep woods off. That's right. Yeah, that's good stuff there. Howdy, Mike. One of the many Mikes. Another Canadian. Great to see you. By the way, I know how the Americans are doing in the Olympics. I do check that fairly regularly. Of people of other nations, how are your teams doing? Do you feel like they're doing okay, or do you feel like they're letting you down? Um, don't worry, I'm not trying to get into any kind of a political on that. That's just, hey, if you feel like your athletes are representing your country well, great. If not, well, if you feel like griping about it, go ahead and throw down out here. It's fine. Skip, control your woman. Sounds like she's threatening to take me to bed again. She said she was laying in bed with me on the big screen. I don't know how a guy who's a Chiefs fan is going to put up with that when his woman is saying she's taking a Raiders fan to bed. That's just wrong. DDT, I'm always worried about the craziness that, you know, Canada and Winter Olympics. I don't know why they are just so dominant. Man, it's like they never live a day without snow. I know, but there's no reason that your teams can't be doing well if it just happens to be summer. And Chad, the reason why, now this is going to sound horrible and it's an old joke, but I'm going to tell it anyways. And anybody who wants to get mad at me, y'all go ahead and get mad. But the reason why Mexico always does poorly in the Olympics is because anybody who could run, jump, or swim already did. Ah, yes, Finland always, and Norway. God, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Canada. They and, well, some of the Russian teams, straight out of Siberia. We got straight out to Compton. They got straight out of Siberia. Yeah. Except for those X Games athletes, the United States just about can't compete. Wait. Somebody has a man that identified as a woman playing women's soccer? Really? In Canada? Yes, that's the biathlon stuff. And by far, that was always my favorite event of all possible Olympics. But I always watched the swimming because I used to actually be good enough that I probably should have gone. Um, but my life was not destined to go to the Olympics. Oh, it's all good. At least my team doesn't get completely shut out of the end zone in the Olympics or in the Super Bowl. It's no problem. Even when I knew they were going to get beat because they were using the old coach's system still, and that coach was coaching the other team. No big deal. That was 2002, in case anybody wants to know. The 50-kilometer walk. Yeah, I've got a few places in Texas where they could walk 50 kilometers, and that's all they're going to do because they die of thirst by the time they get there. New Zealand has a big guy competing in women's weightlifting. I'm hoping some of y'all are just joking about this. Where is Briar Blues Mike? I am not sure, Steph. But we will definitely look at that. And yes, as Boris pointed out, the skiing and shooting is called the biathlon. Look, I'm going to tell you straight out, I do not know how these people can ski that far. Jump down in the snow, shoot accurately, jump back on their skis, ski that far again, then jump back down in the snow and shoot accurately again. I tried it. There's just, man, there is so much hurt by the time I ski that far that I'm like, no, it's not going to happen. Quinn came out as transgender. Laurel Hubbard. I'm not sure I want to look up any of these athletes because some of this is just some of this social engineering BS, in my opinion, has just gone way too far. Look, if a woman takes testosterone to the point where she is more man than woman, she would be disqualified from the women's team. But if a man wants to say he identifies as a woman, he can qualify for the women's team, even though he's actually had more testosterone than the woman who would be disqualified for taking testosterone. So in what hemisphere of anybody's damn right mind is that any way fair? True, Chad, it was a survival technique before it was a sport. There's actually a lot of these sports that were survival techniques. The long jump, the pole vault, the javelin throw, pretty much almost all of the field events, they were all survival techniques. And just think about the marathon. Let me go with the marathon. In the morning, you should start in Rome, run the marathon, fight a battle, and then run back to Rome so that you can scream out, "We won," and then die. Because that's what the guy did who started the whole marathon craze. Marathon is one leg of a marathon, if you consider that. 3 legs to do it. If they would do all 3, then I would be more impressed. Well, synchronized swimming was just to see if you could get a lot of cute girls to do crazy stuff that looks pretty. And somebody said, "Hey, look, we actually can." BMX. Well, BMX was more like survival of the mentalist. What can I force myself to do that should get me killed, but somehow I survived it, so we're going to make a sport out of this. See, Skip, I think that's right there. I mean, if they want to have a guy run 26.2 miles, fight in a battle, and then run 26.2 miles back, I guess whoever's still left alive after they get back can be deemed the winner. Everybody else is toast. Build them a pyre and toast them. Oh, it was Greece? Okay. Fetapides. I will take your word for it. See how long I can tread water? Unfortunately, sounds like I can tread water for a really, really long time. And I mean a really, really long time. And Mike, I'm right there with you. That's why I have guns. Because I am too fat and too old and too crippled to run. I can't outrun nobody. So it's not about wanting to shoot somebody. It's more about just wanting to not have to fight. Because fighting hurts and I don't want to have to do it. So bang. Leave me alone. Synchronized fish slapping. There's some fish market guys that would be really good at that. I've seen them throw full-size fish pretty damn good distance. I mean, you better be prepared to catch too, because that son of a bitch is coming pretty quick. Really? 95-year-old woman dies while at shooting range. Yeah, Seattle and New York. There's actually one in Houston, but it's in Kemah. Mike, I agree with you. It used to be I could take a beating, even if I lost, no big deal. I'd be up for the next round. Just give me 2 or 3 minutes and a splash of water. I'm good. Let's go. Now it's like, give me about 20 days. I might recover enough that I can start thinking about maybe doing something stupid like that again. I don't have 20 days to recover anymore. Well, Chad, I did. It's called living in Texas, where I can say, if you don't leave, I will shoot you. Please don't force me to shoot you. Oh, come on, Skip. That's just wrong. Pew, pew, shuffle, shuffle. It's funny, though. It is funny. And how much more fun would ice hockey be if the puck was actually a live grenade? With a timer that nobody knew when it was going to go off. Steve, I would love to see bull riding in the Olympics. And you know what bull I wish was still alive so it could be a challenge. I mean, a real gold medal round challenge. If you're thinking bodacious, you're thinking right. Yeah. If you could ride this bull for 8 minutes, you get the gold medal. I'll take 4th place, thanks. I ain't getting on that damn thing. Hell no. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of the power suck diesel. Why do I not like Fords? Oh, and by the way, Ford definitely has still included plastic parts inside of their diesel engine, which is the reason why I wouldn't get a Ford diesel anymore. It's made to wear out quicker than the normal diesel engines, and therefore you have to go back into the shop for maintenance so that they can put new, ready to wear out plastic parts inside of your diesel engine. So much sense. For all of about 20 cents more, they could put a metal part in there that's not going to wear out anywhere close to as fast as that plastic part. But no, they're still going to use that plastic part. Though, realistically, my absolute favorite of all the Winter Olympic sports is curling. That's just an awesome, awesome sport. Howdy, Raphael. Great to see you today. Yeah, Steve. Nobody ever is going to be able to say Bodacious was anything other than just one bad bull. That big old Charlet head. He'd get that back end all the way vertical, making sure that you would start pitching forward. And as soon as he started feeling you shift, he would slam that big old head of his backwards straight at your face. And if he connected, your face was toast. And so was your ability to hang on because you were out cold. That's what Bodacious did. He was very good at it. I don't know if it was trained into him or if it was just something he came by natural, but he messed up a lot of people by doing that same old move. And how he got all that power to go just into the back legs and basically drop the front at the same time, which made sure you'd pitch forward, I will never know. And kudos to the 3 people that ever rode him for the full 8 seconds. Swear to God, I'd have been one of them bull riders that would have said, oh, I drew Bodacious? Yeah, I'm withdrawing. No problem. I am not that brave. Well, Mike, curling should be played the Canadian way, with a full bar. There's a beer at each end, and then halfway through, of course, there's shots of bourbon. Now we're talking a real sport. And Raphael, if Lady Fire is there, howdy, ma'am. So glad to see you also. Of course, I think curling with the Finnish tradition of finishing with a good Cuban cigar at the end of the whole match is probably the ideal way. Of course, maybe it's just me. Maybe. So recently I've been watching a Netflix docu-series, The Greatest Events of World War II in Color. It's actually very entertaining and informative at the same time. I've gotten through episode 3 now, and that means I've just finished Pearl Harbor. But episode 1 goes into the Blitzkrieg. Interestingly enough, Germany was hopping their soldiers up on methamphetamines so that they could go for 3 days without needing to sleep. Of course, it also is supposed to eliminate all your inhibitions and your empathy, which is part of the reason why they were just meaner than all get out during that point in time. But hey, there's some crazy things that happen in war. I'm learning some new ones that I didn't even know, which is a good thing. Well, Raphael, I am fairly certain that if she's making magic in the kitchen, that means you are eating good tonight. I've seen some of the recipes. I've seen them. I know if I lived closer, we'd have to go find out. So you're welcome that I live here in Houston. Otherwise, y'all be seeing me over at your house a whole lot more often. But hey, don't worry. Every once in a while, I'd be bringing brisket. Howdy, Paul. Great to see you, sir. Ant biting my toe. Germans do love David Hasselhoff. They also like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh, Paul, that's horrible. Fur babies are babies. And I understand the attachment. Yeah. I'm not going to say that they don't, Dan. There's a very high probability that they do use some sort of you got to stay awake for this. Sorry about your luck. Here, take these pills. Pretty much the same reason why I'm not getting any of the vaccines for COVID. Look, I got paid 95 cents an hour the first time when I was in the Army to be a guinea pig. Walk through the bumblebee line. They hit you in both arms at the same time. The only thing is, don't flinch. Yeah, 15 years is a good long life for most dogs. Cliff, I wouldn't be surprised if Elvis, during his stint in the Army, actually did get enough methamphetamines that maybe he was addicted. But there was a lot of things that were over the counter back in the day that they eventually figured out were really bad for you. Oh, Bodacious bucked off 127 of his 135 riders. Only one guy rode him twice that I know of. Only thing I'll tell you is that when they finally retired him, every one of the bull riders on the planet breathed a big sigh of relief. let's see, methamphetamines or instant coffee packs. I might have to actually go in favor of the methamphetamines on that. Most of the instant coffee packs I've ever had were horrible. And if it leaves you wanting to take a dump at the end of it, kind of hard to take a dump when you're up in the air. Crap your own britches. Don't worry, you get into a dogfight, you're going to crap your britches anyways, but I wouldn't need any help. Steve, yes, I had heard that a lot of the German POWs had done a lot of that work under the guise of, what was it? Army Corps of Engineers. But the Army Corps of Engineers does come back through still to this day and make improvements when they can, when they're allowed, and of course, when budget is permitted. Yeah, anybody who went and had bodacious steaks probably pulled out their serrated Bowie knife to get through half of it. And chipped teeth getting through the other half. I wouldn't want to go through that. Ugh. I mean, there was some bulls out there that I think I might have given a shot, and there were some that really seriously would have made me afraid to even try. What was it? Yellow Jacket, of course, Bodacious. I mean, there were a few. Just about none of them destroyed as many people as Bodacious did, though. I mean, he made it a steady habit. Now, if you stayed on past the point where he lifted that back end and chunked you at his head, you were in for a good ride. You were going to make good points. But, good Lord. If you even took a glancing blow off of the back of that big old beast's head, you're done. What was it? Tough Hedeman, I think his name was. Oh, come on, Chad. I live not right down the road from where Gillies used to be. Skip, I'm pretty certain that nobody would be afraid of a side of beef named Soy Boy. Gotta let this noisy cat in before he screams too much. Alright, get in there. Come on, hurry up. Great cat, old as hell, but noisy. Always noisy. You think cicadas are bad. You ain't never heard Toby when he really gets on a tear. Cat tries to wake up the dead. I will say that I've put on a full ride on a few mechanical bulls, even when they got some real inventive operators. Strong hands and long arms, I can really hang in there pretty good. You just got to make sure to keep that damn knot right there at your crotch. That's part of it. Howdy, Matthew. Great to have you here. By the way, I know I started a little bit early, but what time is it now? Oh, all right. We still got about 12 minutes before Mike's supposed to be on. If he comes on a little early, if anybody sees him come on, will y'all please let me know? Sometimes I get notified about 30 minutes after Mike ends, even though I've got that little bell notification thing set up on my phone. Being honest, I've got that same bell notifier for almost all of y'all. I mean, I don't have it for Skip, but that's because most all of their shows show up on Steph and Skip. Not a problem, Mike. Take your time. There's no rush. If you need extra time to get set up or whatever, I'm here for you, brother. I will inform all of y'all again. The reason y'all been missing me on most of your live streams lately, it's because it's hot as all get out here in the Houston area, and by the time I get around to thinking, man, I'm gonna catch that show, I'm already to the point where I'm just like, I am not in the mood to be my normal joyous self and make wisecracks. And there's been plenty of times where I've actually caught some shows, but I've just been lurking. That has nothing to do with any of y'all. That is all about me. You can put all that blame on me. I understand, and I apologize if you feel like I've been letting you down. Well, Mike, if you really want to see joyous me, you got to watch the first 7 minutes of this particular live stream. It was it was fun. Uh-oh, Chad received a top-notch coffee consumption device today. What is it, Chad? Tell me. I love top-notch coffee consumption devices. Raphael, I actually caught the last 20 minutes of you and Lady Fire, but I was listening to it on my headphones while I was working on dinner, and so I obviously was not trying to do all that. Well, Mike, I'm pretty sure that if she told you that it was less than 7 minutes, that she was lying about it. Of course, I'm also pretty sure that if she told you it was more than 7 minutes, she was definitely lying about it. Ah, a Briar Blues mug. Good choice there, Chad. Good choice. Yes, yes. Dishwashers and branded cups are not a good choice. I have this perfectly white mug that looks very similar to all the mugs that say BRTV, except for mine has no logo at all. Sure you do, Chad. It's called Marcy. Yes, Steph, the cicadas are ridiculously loud this year. There's been several of my live streams that I've quite literally just said, hell, I can't even hear myself speak, much less I don't know how well y'all can hear me. Sure, Chad, if Mike thinks so and Donald thinks so, it's probably truth. And now that it's on the internet, it has to be true. Somebody is probably a French underwear model. Somebody is not me. Steph has the answer. Steph has the answer. Well, it's Jergens or somebody's been washing their dishes in Calgon. Of course, I would just wash the whole state of California in Calgon. Then it would be just Fornia. Yes, yes. The awesome Silence of the Lambs reference. I love it. Absolutely love that movie. Could be why I like a nice liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Howdy, Mark. Great to see you today. Absolutely great to see you today. Hopefully, all is well. Yes, Cliff, that is a top-notch movie. All the way down to where the director would not take a cut where Anthony Hopkins blinked. I mean, if you go watch the original, he never blinks. There's some spots where his eyes kind of twitched a little, but he never blinks. it gives him that extra absolute psycho feel. Whew. Sorry, Steph. I didn't mean to scare Arlo. I blink. Don't worry, I blink. I might still be a little bit psycho, but that's a different story. Just remember, Arlo, what happens in tailgating stays in tailgating. Well, unless it needs to be rediscussed on a secondary feed, just because. Hi, cicadas. They're so loud they drove my big cat up to the door. Oh, goodness gracious. It is massively hot in here today. Well, out here. I'm outside. Y'all know this. Yeah, sorry about that, Boris. If there was a way to control insects that are that loud, I would probably be well equipped to figure it out. Steve, you take care. Hugs to Miss Kathy and prayers to little Zoe. Yeah, damn straight, Cliff. It's too damn hot to wear anything else. Uh-oh. Just got notification that Thursday Night with Briar Blues is live. I'm checking now. It's not actually live. But it says that it will be. So, all right, everybody. Let's go ahead and get through the real quick portion of this. Y'all remember, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. And, well, as always, let's just go ahead and end it on a high note. Long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you on Mike's channel here in just a minute. Bye now.